Today's episode is brought to you by Live Intent. Live Intent is a smarter way to market and advertise in email. Using the power of the anonymized email address, Live Intent makes it easy to buy and sell display ads in the email newsletters of the world's top companies. That gives marketers the ability to tap into an audience of 130 million unique monthly users who engage with opted-in content from some of the top publishers and brands in the world. With an audience that's mobile first and naturally cross-device, you can reach the right person at the right time in the right place, the inbox.
Welcome to Total Retail Talks, your podcast channel for retail knowledge.
Hello, and welcome to episode 43 of Total Retail Talks. I'm Joe Keenan, Executive Editor of Total Retail. Today I'm joined by Eric Alper, Chief Marketing Officer at Frank & Oak, a retailer of menswear, shoes, and accessories, and coming soon, womenswear. We're going to be discussing Frank & Oak's move into a new product category, womenswear. Thanks for joining me, Eric.
It's a pleasure, Joe.
So let's start with that first question here. Can you talk about the factors that went into Frank & Oak's decision to enter into this new category, womenswear?
Absolutely. Well, first off, Frank & Oak is the brand helping a generation of millennials dress and live well. And, over our 4 years in existence, customers have been asking us, literally demanding our launch of womenswear. We have thousands of notes from customers from across social channels, email, in-store feedback, and customer service interactions saying, when will the day come when you bring womenswear to market? So that's like the first factor that's driving our move into this space. But the second is, women have been shopping with us since the very beginning and visiting some of our stores. Literally 20 to 25% of the customers walking through our retail doors and landing on our site are women. And we've never said, hey, we're exclusively for men. We absolutely do sell to women, but we feel we've reached a time when we're ready to make products especially for women in their silhouettes and in unique styles. And, ultimately the biggest realization we've had is we've always tried to go after a unique group of customers. And we've realized that that's less about gender than it is about people who are united by values. And we're really leaning into that at this point.
So you've gotten this feedback and you've come to the realization, hey, there's demand from our customers. You've heard it, and you mentioned the different channels you've heard it, and you've heard it for years. So you've made the decision, okay, we need to address this demand. We're going to start with womenswear. Decisions made, then kind of the second step is, executing on that. And I'm curious about the challenges that come with entering a new product category. What's the experience been like for Frank & Oak? And then kind of a second part to that question, then what are you doing to address those challenges?
Sure. It's a great question. I think the first point is, we've spent the last 18 months thinking about this strategy and how to do it right and really identifying the gaps. And from our perspective, the challenge is twofold. There's a data gap and an awareness gap. The data gap comes from the fact that we don't fully know yet what styles and fits will resonate best with our female customers. Of course, we can look at other brands and we can look at the style forecasts and the likes of WGSN and WWD, but at the end of the day, that's playing the game that everyone else is. And one of the realizations we've had is we have this amazing gift of being a strong direct-to-consumer brand. And the dialogue between the customer and the brand is rich because we collect all of that data. So we've been seeding product and getting feedback, but really that first release is our opportunity to learn as much as possible, as fast as possible about fit, style, wear, and occasions. I think the other side of the equation is, we're at this point a brand with over 2.5 million customers. And we definitely have that 20 to 25% organic traffic from women coming to our site and to our stores. But, we have a lot of upside when it comes to awareness and really making sure that people know that we're coming, the partners, friends, family members of our customers, and a wider community of women that is united by the same values. That's really, really kind of the second area of work we're doing, is to drive that awareness.
And maybe that question maybe put the cart before the horse a little bit, in that first we should probably talk about when the women's wear collection is launching, and then after that, how long do you then decide, okay, here's the feedback, here's what we're seeing, the behavior we're seeing from our female customers, before you begin to tweak and make changes?
Well, look, I mean, first thing is we haven't announced a date, but we will be coming to market in fall of 2016. And I think that, to the extent possible, we're focused on being very, very real time in our response. And obviously, many supply chains aren't real time, but, how we market, how we connect with the consumer, how we engage them, that we can change very, very quickly. And product we can do, in a matter of 4 to 6 weeks. We are ready to iterate very, very quickly. And one of the advantages to kind of our launch strategy as we see it is we're starting with an online-only launch. So you'll be able to buy our product directly from us, from frankandoak.com and our mobile app. And, that really enables us to be a lot quicker to take feedback and incorporate it into subsequent collections.
And then how is this kind of opening up the brand to women going to impact some of the other areas of the business? I'm curious about, your marketing approach. You touched a little bit about on supply chain and there, and how about customer service and development of product, merchandising? Just kind of talk a little bit about what you feel this does to impact some of the other established areas of the Frank and Oak business.
Yeah, so I think it has a completely cross-functional impact, Joe. Across how you merchandise, how you price, how you photograph, how you style, and how you interact with customers. Just thinking about, let's start with staff, with the front line. We're always thinking, what are the foot soldiers of the company going to have to do, to deliver a truly outstanding and memorable experience? And they're going to have to be retrained, and they are being retrained on service rituals, on how to style customers, because advice is a key part of our in-store experience. Another aspect is once we do move into the store experience, in-store fixturing is different. When you look at men's merchandise, a lot of men's merchandise is folded, it's on tables, it's on racks, whereas a lot of women's merchandise is hanging. So looking at fixturing, lighting, changing rooms, making them more private for pieces to be tried on, and I think product development is another area, where we have, we've already been doing research with customers, but it's an area where there's both continuity and difference. Continuity because some of our styles already sell well with women, and we're just going to take that and apply it to, more women's silhouettes and cuts. But also different because we're creating a complete collection around women, and we don't yet have, days and weeks and months of sales data.
Are you looking for new merchants then to when you speak about product, or is it existing people on staff that are kind of learning as the process goes, and just how are you going to handle that as far as the buying process and finding the right products for the women customers that you hope to serve?
Well, I think the first thing is, by launching a very comprehensive women's collection, we'll figure out what categories and styles resonate well with them. I think that the broader answer to your question is no. I think our merchants are treating this as a holistic line that lives alongside our men's merchandise, and in theory that you could shop between. Who are we to tell the customer that they should buy A and not B? I think that the major factor in our business that is a key differentiator is being a completely direct business and being able to mine the business insights in sales patterns and social responses to our products on a real-time basis. And that's really a driving force for our merchants.
And how about, Eric, how about marketing, and specifically within marketing around customer acquisition? What are you doing to drive this awareness of the Frank and Oak brand amongst women, and then hopefully then getting that awareness to a level where they're coming to the site and they're making purchases? What's the strategy around that?
So great question. At the end of the day, Frank and Oak has always been a brand that's built on the idea of community. Both virtual community in the online world, but also real world community. And from our perspective, launching a women's collection is about deploying the power of that community. We are 2.5 million members strong, nearly all of which have female friends, family members, or partners. And we are going to leverage them with a strong referral platform. In fact, it exists right now at frankenoak.com/women. So the thinking is very simple. Every contact, existing customers, has the ability to create a viral loop of referrals. So we're borrowing from our very beginnings and from the tech world to create anticipation long before the line is ever ready for sale. So by announcing Frank and Oak Women's, we've invited our existing customers to refer their friends, their partners, their family members, and the more people they refer, the more rewards they get. So we really want to leverage the power of that community to create a viral loop and to really build a strong email database to keep people informed as we count down to that fall collection launch.
Yeah, it's really an interesting approach. You're kind of leveraging that existing loyal customer base that you already have, men and women, to kind of make this push into a new category. Really, really interesting stuff. And then my final question, Eric, is can you talk about some of the goals that you've identified around this new women's wear initiative? And then what are you going to be doing to measure the success of those goals?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think there are two sets of goals. There are commercial goals and there are cultural goals. You know, commercially, we want to create a collection that resonates with customers, and to do it, we're really willing to learn, to put collaborations with our customers' community and a bit of online experimentation to work. And ultimately, to do that repeatedly, customers have to love it, both for the product and for the experience. You know, from a cultural point of view, we want to do things differently. Our work isn't just about putting out an aesthetic point of view or trying to exploit a pricing differential with competitors. It's about doing things with cultural impact that support daring, passionate women looking to fulfill their aspirations. And that's really our purposeful role in doing this, is to merge both a cultural and communal and commercial impact together to drive a very, very impactful category and collection for us.
Great. Well, I wish you the best of luck. Make sure everyone in the audience be checking out Frank and Oak for the launch of its Womenswear collection this coming fall. I want to take this opportunity to thank Eric Alper of Frank and Oak for his time. Please check out our podcast channel page, mytotalretail.com/podcast for show notes. Total Retail Talks is available on iTunes and Stitcher, but make sure to subscribe on our podcast channel page as well. Lastly, please follow us on Twitter at MyTotalRetail or on Facebook at facebook.com/MyTotalRetail. Thanks, and I look forward to you joining us on the next episode of Total Retail Talks. Many thanks to you, our listeners, as well as the sponsor of today's episode, Live Intent. Live Intent is a smarter way to market and advertise in the email newsletters of the world's top brands and publishers. Go to liveintent.com to learn more.